Facebook up.
Facebook. Oh, there it is. Facebook. I see it. But no Instagram.
Check.
My check. So are we doing Instagram or not?
It ain't up.
Do I need to use my phone? No. Okay.
Because we'll push, you still push that link. We still push the link, share the link to
Share the link
share to the Instagram.
Right, because Aunt Felicia was wanting to watch it.
Baby on Instagram?
Yeah, that's where they watch it at. Her whole little.
You can scoot over, Tabby.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because
I'm
that's.
looking at much stuff. You know?
Yeah.
You said they were?
Yeah. Facebook is on. All right.
You want me to lock it or you want to write it?
So that door.
Yeah.
Doorbell's ringing. Doorbell's ringing. You take a shot already? We ain't even got started good. We
live.
Slowly came
we
up
go
into
live. You ain't gotta take the whole thing.
I gotta paste this right here.
Yeah, paste it.
And rush it in too much, too fast. It was slow roll. Slow roll.
Yeah, Mike going in and out.
Oh man, what's going on with the microphone? The one he can hear. Check. What that mic check doing? Mic check.
Caller, are you there?
I think it was like one or something like that.
Yeah, you had
How about now?
Lowest one?
I can't hear nothing.
Nothing at all?
No.
Ooh.
Hear about the air.
What about now? Check.
Caller, are you there?
Check.
Is that the right one, W.I.T.B?
I can hear you right there, but it was like robotic.
Oh no. I'm switching it in now.
What about the other ones?
I don't know if they charged up, but we can definitely go check them out. We've been rolling for them.
Yeah. Just work with us. We are a little bit technical difficulty, but we will be right with you. And thank you all for tuning. Like, subscribe, and share. Check out our YouTube page. Check out our Instagram. Check out our Facebook. Even come in here and hang out with us. If you ain't doing nothing at this moment, come on down because we got some vital information for you to hang out with us. And I know I'm looking a little not like Lindy Leo self today, but
yeah, that sound a little bit better.
We gotta make it do what it do and how it do.
Sound man is fine.
Collar, are you there?
Sound man fine. How we looking on sound? We good?
Yeah, we good.
We've been at this
we
for a
gotta mark
minute.
that one.
It is marked. That's the odd thing about it. I don't know who pulled it out the case, but you know how things happen in Smoky Face. The world may never know. Type shit. What's up? We in it, bit nah, just be.
It's your girl, Lady Leo. We are back. B. We have a guest that returned for another day sitting with us.
Oh yeah.
Mr. Robert Jones.
Robert Jones here with the
welcome
sequel,
again. Thank you for hanging out with us.
What's happening?
Thank you. B.
What's up with it?
How was your week?
Week was busy. Yeah.
Okay.
We stay busy.
Busy.
Hey, you know what they say, man? No rest for the wicked.
No.
I ain't know I was that wicked. You know what I'm saying?
Well, there you have it.
I didn't know. What about you? How was your week?
The week was busy as well. Didn't do too much. Kiddos, working out with the kiddos, preparing for this week, of course. And then, we got events coming up, and Smoky Face have stuff, and the Pink Palace have stuff, and Kink have stuff. So, springtime has got to hit. The weather finally broke.
Weather broke.
And it's a shot.
There go the doorbell. There go the shots up.
So we're glad the weather is break. Hope everybody is safe out there. Last week
Definitely
of
be
Black
safe.
History Month, and we have
Yeah.
we have a follow up on some things today. I'm sorry, I had to catch my breath. That kind of.
You done fix them thunder shots, huh?
Hey now.
Thunder
I
shots.
can fix yours today.
Thunder.
So, anywho, Mr. Jones. So,
Yes.
welcome back again.
Thank you.
So, we are going to do a follow up on what we did a couple of weeks back. And if you guys haven't seen it, it is out there on Instagram and Facebook.
Yeah, it should be on YouTube.
YouTube
as well.
also, I'm sorry,
it should
too.
be on there too.
Yeah.
But if not, definitely you can definitely catch it on the Facebook.
Yes.
It's on there, yeah.
Yes, but it is on YouTube because I did rewatch it and tweak some things and saw some things. So it is. So we're still talking about false land deeds and things like that.
Yes.
So do you have some vital information for our audience? Update for our audience?
Yeah, I do. The last time I was here, I think it was February 5th.
Yes.
And I had court the next day.
Okay.
And I didn't know whether or not I was going to be locked up or not from the things I uncovered.
Okay.
Games are being played with my life and everything, and I kind of spelled that out the last time I was here. And it is about false land deeds. I showed you guys factual documentation from the Secretary of State.
Right.
Relative to Security Land Title Company being the largest land title company in Missouri that merged with First American Title Insurance Company and their affiliates and associates. So basically, the land deeds in Missouri are all fraudulent because the Mormon Church, as it's alleged in court, is the owner of the United States since 1975. So that ties into, your hidden, your fraudulent land deeds ties into so much, your bank loans, your insurance premiums, even your land surveys for that matter. And all that is tied up to a lot of tax dollars being defrauded from the public.
Okay.
Then we talked about, I went into another segment, which was Hidden Public Law 10229. And I showed documentation, and you'll see that being shot out per document here at a later date. I speak with the editor of the film, and he's going to shoot each document to support what I'm saying and what I'm proving. This Public Law 10229 was signed by President George H.W. Bush in 1991, and it's a hidden law from the governors of Missouri. It ties into a massive tax dollars that were supposed to be handed down to the state of Missouri to finance Public Law 10229 after the federal government and its liabilities and its entitlements repealed. A lot of people don't want to, it's kind of rough to understand that was repealed back in April 18, 1991. I have a document that will also be shown from New York Times to show that the president was awakened out of his bed at 1:39 a.m. to sign this document, meaning that the economy was in such a array, being devastated, so they had to, since the federal government had basically abolished, they had to kick it down to the states and give the state worker compensation jurisdiction to govern new state laws for new state courts. However, this has been hidden by Missouri top state, city, county officials. Those documents were shown as well and will be shown as I mentioned that Mike will do, the editor. In addition to this public law, you need to understand that public law it runs a gamut of information relative to what goes on in your courts. If this law has been hidden since 1991, anybody who's been fined, jailed, incarcerated, convicted, and or put to death since April 18, 1991 has been wrongly judged. And just last week, since there's been a new administration, Governor Mike Kehoe is the governor now. All these other governors wait and they really try to run out with their attorney generals and not have nothing to say, exhaust their time and move on. They might shoot me a letter that speaks in a broad way. Whether they do that or not, they're evasive, they're running from the law. However, Governor Mike Kehoe has it on his desk today as to respond to the exact date Public Law 102 became effective in Missouri. Why are you hiding this? Because there's a court case in Missouri in the 8th Circuit Court that says this law was effective in 1996. So Governor Nixon said he searched for it and found that there was no legislation relative to this law. So who's lying? Is it Governor Nixon or is it this court case? Did they dummy up this court case to get all this money? Either the state officials of Missouri are getting all this money to pay for their political campaigns, or they're handing this money over to the Mormon Church, who is the owner of the United States since 1975. And I showed this document, and it will be posted again. This is Chairman Joseph Smith of the Mormon Church. And you know, a church can't own the United States and pay all the taxes, collect all the taxes and things of that nature from beer, pop, cigarettes, land, whatever. So they have to have these fraudulent land title companies to do their dirty work. And that's where Security Land Title Company comes in play. You know, a ghost could not give birth to a fraudulent land title company, but the Mormon Church could, since they're hiding what they've been doing. Most people would not believe that the Mormon Church has been the owners of the United States government since 1975. I am a former federal inspector who's really dug into this, put a lot of time into it, and now we have governors and everything, as I mentioned, from Governor Nixon on up to Mike Parsons, up to Governor Kehoe on the run. But now that Governor Kehoe is in office, he's required to respond, because I said you have a deadline till February 24th, and I was going to go on the media, and this is a media channel. This is a news agency, whether or not you guys realize it or not. This is a news channel. People are listening to what you have to say. And I'm turning in these people down as to what they're doing and what taxes that they're stealing. So, and another part of this, since it ties into Chairman Joseph Smith's policy, this policy, and I'm sure you have relatives that work for Union Pacific Railroad and their insurance companies, their unions, anything that ties into this policy is fraudulent. So what I'm trying to get started is, and there's a document on the table that says, let us use the month of March to march for land, taxes, public law due to acts of fraud uncovered. We need to, Black History is about over, a couple more days. But we need to move forward. We need to put together a class action lawsuit. I can't do it all by myself. The people down here are working with me to get it out to you guys. You've got to make yourselves available. I'm sure your family members, in fact, we even have a member of this group, this audience, more so this agency, who his family is tied into Union Pacific Railroad. And we're doing a research on him and his family as to monies that's available that they've been hiding. So I say I ought to say this. We need to get together. This is not like reparations. This is what's owed to you. This is what they defrauded your family out of. So what we need to do is put together. We tell you the truth. We need secretaries. We need to get a GoFundMe page. We need to have fundraisers. We need to have a march, as I mentioned in this flyer here. We need to march because you people got a lot of money out there. I guess would you feel better if I went to the Northland, and that's where I live? Would you feel better if I take this matter to the Northland and the other color get the bennies? Or do you want me to work with, and I'm not saying I'm prejudiced and white people shouldn't get what they got coming, because if it wasn't for good white people, we wouldn't have what we have today. They brought us out of slavery. There were some good white people, and I'm not knocking them, but somebody needs to take the bull by the horn and tell black people what they got coming. And that's what I'm here for. And these people opened the door for me to tell you that. And so I bring the facts. I don't bring gossip. I bring the facts as a former federal inspector. So these policies, this law, and things that are fraudulent, they're on Governor Kehoe's desk. And you can't keep running from the law. Tell you the truth, if there was a march, we need to march right on up to Jefferson City or even down to City Hall at the prosecutor's office, because all of them been running as well. Why are you hiding this public law that's effective, that should be effective in all court cases? People are being fined, jailed, incarcerated, as I mentioned, and they're wrongly judged because they're hiding this law. And think of the money that your family's paid out for people that have been put in jail. There's not a member in this black community that there's not a family member that's been incarcerated, maybe even been dead by police who know of this hidden law, and they're not doing what they should do in accordance with this law. Public law is public law. It runs our courts, and it should not be hidden from the public. I say all that to say this. If you have any questions, you can contact Robert Jones at P.O. Box 28304, Kansas City, Missouri 64188, or Inspector Jones 1975 at gmail.com. Again, Inspector Jones 1975 at gmail.com. And we will get you started. Just like the gentleman here with this agency, we got his letter out to Union Pacific that ties into Mr. Smith and his policy that ties into the railroad. We got to kick it.
Okay.
So people will understand that you can't sit on your hands anymore. You can't do it. In today's world, you see Donald Trump is doing what he's got to do with the federal government, and they're letting him run rampant. Every day, a federal agency is being knocked down, and he's talking about kicking it to the states. I told you in the beginning of this conversation that the federal government was repealed in April 18, 1991.
Yeah.
So it's only a matter of time that if they jumped up and did it all of a sudden, everybody had a heart attack. But they're trickling it down. And believe me, if you watch the news every day, anytime you play with IRS, when you play with IRS, did you see it on the news?
Tough.
When you play IRS as a federal agency, when you go to knock them off their blocks, as you said earlier, there's a big picture going on.
Yeah. Definitely.
Do you think they're going to tell you about it?
No, you're going to find out.
You're going to find out. Yeah.
They're going to be a little too
So
late.
I've been on their trail since, and I got letters from U.S. Congress people. I even got letters from the White House where President Bush told me that he even hired his attorney. Well, he didn't hire him. He was his general counsel, Robert Sparrow, who did O.J.'s case. And they wanted to appease me, make me happy, saying that they were giving all the effort they could to find out about this law that he signed. You didn't have to find out about it. You signed it. Mm-hmm. National Archives said you signed it.
Wow.
So why would you have to have general counsel tell me different? When so who's lying? President Bush and Robert Shapiro or National Archives? I mentioned that the last time I was here.
Yes.
So who's lying? But the bottom line of it is the federal liabilities have been kicked down to state liabilities under the state worker compensation program. Do you realize that's talking about insurance premiums, taxes, work conditions, safety, and other regulations, but yet they're hidden from the public? Kansas City, you better wake up. I have contacted I went from the mayor's office to the county sheriff in Jackson County, Clay County, and I guarantee you, they know who I am, and they are on the run. As I mentioned, the last time I was here, I thought I was going to be locked up, and I thought even if I was locked up, one or two things were going to happen to me. They was going to end me up in there because I know too much. But God had His hand over me, and I'm going to keep it moving. And I'm so thankful that I'm with this group to want to keep it moving, because this group is in your neighborhood to tell you what is going on. Turn on the news and you see every day federal agencies are being demolished. This abolished. There was a segment the last time I said, you better kiss your cat. Most people say, kiss your cat, and you may kiss your dog, you may have good luck. You better kiss something, because everything's coming down the pipe right now. Things are happening. So, people are losing their jobs.
Let me ask you this. How long have you been working on this to let the public know what's happening or what's going on?
Well, I pushed out, let me say it like this. I went to being a former federal inspector.
Okay.
I went to a meeting where it was all FBI agents and everybody was silver haired. Either they were FBI or CIA or whatever. We were down at Crown Center at the main library. And the head guy, his name was Jeff Lanza. And I said, Jeff, I got up, spoke to the podium, at the podium. I said, Jeff, if I was to mail in a criminal affidavit, certified mailing, and it goes to your office, is it legal? He said, oh, yeah. So that ball game's been going on for a while. These affidavits have been mailed in. Just like I told you, it was mailed in to Stacy Shaw. I hired Stacy Shaw to be the law firm to represent me so we can get this ball going. And she wasn't doing what she's supposed to have done. I fired her. Then they swung back and tried to work against me with the prosecutor's office, and they got caught. So that's another lawsuit that I'm waiting to spank them about. But anyway, it's been a while. I covered my tracks as a former federal inspector. All my documentation is straight out, covered. My mail is certified. I know you got it, and that's the way I operate. If I don't drop it off at your office, if I don't file a complaint in your office, it's coming at you by way of U.S. mail, and I know you got it. But to answer your question, I've been in it for a while, and let me tell you something. When you're into something like this, it's like a snowball going downhill. It gets bigger. It gets bigger. It gets bigger because the more it travels, the more fraud and wickedness, and you guys spoke about wickedness at the early part of this conversation. But the more you get into uncovering this fraud, it gets bigger and bigger. It was at the lower level. Now it's the governor. And mind you, like I said, I got letters from Washington, D.C., from the office of the President of the United States trying to appease me about what is going on. So it's like I said, it's a snowball traveling downhill. And you just have to be patient. And I've been given that gift to be patient, but yet keep moving.
Yeah.
But I've been very patient but if you don't send out nothing, you don't get back nothing.
Indeed.
You understand what I'm saying?
Okay.
You heard me tell you guys the last time I was here, January 5th. You people out there need to tell your kids, show your kids how to write a letter, even if they send it to you. Yeah. So they can conform a letter, send it to you, know what to say in the letter. And a lot of times, you don't have to have an attorney. You know what I mean? Address your letter the way, like Johnny Cochran would address it.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
But make sure you do your research.
Yeah.
That. And sometimes you may not get all your research, but you got to ask a question to get an answer.
Okay.
Then you pry into that. And that's where I have been so blessed with, being patient, being trained. As I told you last time, I was trained by a professor out of the University of Oklahoma. Okay. She taught me how to get in there and do law. Told me, I'm not going to know all these law cases. Just do the basics. Okay. And I've been blessed to do that. Because, believe it or not, you audience, this is not for myself. This is for the community. But moreover, in the bottom of my heart, I believe I'm doing the Lord's work because the Mormon church should not be playing with the name Jesus Christ and yet collect all this money, tax you, get rich, start wars upon wars. The United States is the most powerful army nation in the world, and they run it. Okay. Something ain't right. It ain't right for a church to be operable like that.
So let's just say everything gets uncovered, right?
Yes.
And everybody owns up to the madness they did that too, right?
Go ahead.
Okay. So the end goal in this is?
The end goal should be those that have been defrauded should be compensated.
Okay.
Though, like I said, we're not looking toward reparations.
I got
That's another ball game because I even wrote the Kansas City reparations group this week and told them, you guys are going after the federal government for your reparations. and you're looking the wrong way, you should be going toward the Mormon Church.
Okay.
Because they run the United States.
So you share that piece of advice to guide them in the right direction. Right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And so with this agency on reparations, I dealt with them. I dealt with other agencies and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have time to deal with people to sit on their hands and wait for the good piece of bread to be thrown at them, the crumbs.
Gotcha.
Either you're going to do it or you're not. You're going to get to the source or you're not. And that's been the big downfall of Kansas City, because there have been people here in Kansas City who know that Black people need so much, and you don't bite the hand to feed you. So they throw out enough to feed you because they know you're not going to bite at it.
It's a mentality.
Wow.
A mentality.
Yeah.
It's a
But
mentality.
here comes Mr. Jones with the truth.
Yeah.
And I have been, let me tell you something. You really don't know how demeaning it was when a guy in my neighborhood, a white guy, who I pulled his land deed, showed him in certified mailing that his land deed was fraudulent with proof, with the certificate from the Secretary of State. Mind you, the police department, all that, had already knew who, they know who I am and what I've uncovered, this and that. Do you know that when he got ready to sell his house, when the market was good 2 years ago, remember how good the market was?
Uh-huh.
Everybody wanted to sell their house because they figured they could make $200,000 more. Do you remember how good it was?
Yeah.
Well, he wanted to sell his house. He didn't want nobody to block him from selling his house. So I had a sign in my yard that said, "New potential home buyer, be aware, land deeds in the subdivision and statewide are fraudulent. Here's the proof." I gave them a certificate of fact from the Secretary of State right here. The signed, sealed, and delivered from the Secretary of State that said the land title companies were fraudulent. You know what he did? He called the police and did this, did that, and put false claim against me.
Oh, wow.
They arrested me, put me in a back paddy wagon in the front of my house. I had never been to jail in my life. But they took his word. Mind you, I had the proof that he defrauded the family with kids just to make the money.
Oh, wow.
But you know what? When it come time for him to show up in court, February 6th, remember I was supposed to?
Yeah.
He didn't show up because there was going to be some serious charges up against him for falsifying court record.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but I'm not through with him
So
because you still falsified court record. But see, that's how they operate in the Northland. I ain't supposed to have no rights in the Northland. See what I'm saying? I'm not supposed to have no rights. But they took him, even though I showed the police his deed, the certificate, and the sale of his house to the people and their family and their kids. And I'm the one that got hit the back of the paddy wagon.
So was he able to sell his house, or did he?
Oh, he sold it. That's why he's in trouble. He's in big trouble. He's in big trouble. But do you think the police department in Clay County would go pick him up? They know where he lives. He lives out in Smithville. Do you think they go pick him up?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
No, because they too are tied into this land fraud, because Shoal Creek Police Department is the police agency that runs North Kansas City. And you know who's their next door neighbor is? The Mormon Church.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. You open their door and you're in their door.
Oh, so they got everybody
Yeah.
they all got each other's back
Yeah.
out there. And,
police fraud and all this is all tied up.
Everybody's in everybody's pocket.
Everybody's in everybody's pocket, man. It's sad.
Wow.
But so, I can only say, to kind of answer your question, it's only going to be by the grace of God that it moves forward the way He wanted to move forward, and for everybody to get what due them. Because look at the taxes you've been paying. Are you a homeowner? Whether you're a homeowner or not, you got family members that are.
Yeah.
And think about this. What you better understand: there's people right now living underneath the bridge that's been taxed. High land taxes assessed against their property, and they can't afford to pay them taxes. Their land deeds are fraudulent, and their behinds are homeless. So, do you think I'm not going to fight for that?
Let me ask a question, though. I was on tip of my tongue. What is it?
I'm sorry, young man.
Yeah,
because I get fired up by this stuff because
we get fired up.
Because I'm telling you, man, you think
so
it's fair?
Okay, so here's the question. This is my question. Why do you think they're running from this?
Because if you conceal a crime, what is it? It's a crime.
Yeah, it's a crime.
Yeah. So if you conceal a crime, they're creating and making a crime.
Okay.
They're an instrument
So
of conspiracy.
So they're ducking and dodging it.
Because if you were the prosecutor,
remain doing what they're doing.
oh, if you were the prosecutor today and you say, Mr. Jones, what proof do you have? And you say, okay, I see the proof. Let's lock Mr. Governor up. He's been concealing it. Attorney generals. We can talk about a couple mayors down the road.
Okay.
So everybody, like I said, brother, it's that snowball traveling down.
I guess what I'm getting at. Oh, I guess what I'm getting at is if the people who are committing these crimes, right, are also in the cahoots with the people that have the power to lock them up, and they in each other's hands, what makes you think they're going to actually corroborate?
Well, what did I tell you earlier about 5 minutes ago? I leave it to the higher authority.
Okay.
I leave it to Jesus.
That's
Because
a great place to put it.
When you're playing with the church, Latter-day Saints of Jesus Christ, and you're robbing everybody, you're making wars upon wars and rumors of wars, and you put people underneath bridges. Do you think God wants his people to live like this?
Not at all.
So do you understand what I've been fighting? When I said I'm a former federal inspector, do you not think I have not made contact with Washington, D.C.? Did I not say I got a letter from the President of the United States? I've taken it to the highest level. I know where greed is at. I know where the power is at. And I know who's hiding from the power.
So, with that being said, can you read out your email address if anyone else can reach out to you?
Right. I'll come at it again.
Okay.
That's Robert Jones, P.O. Box 28304, Kansas City, Missouri 64188. And to expedite what you want to do, email me at Inspector Jones 1975 at gmail.com. Can I say something to you folks?
I got like a minute and a half.
I got a minute.
This
Okay, that's good. That's
we
good.
appreciate
Okay,
your
no,
passion.
okay. First of all, I want to show you, here's a booklet of all the insurance companies that fall under Security Land Title Company. Do you see how many pages?
Quite a bit.
Quite a few. Okay. So I'm going to want to close out like this. This policy says what year, ma'am? At the bottom. Mr. Smith's policy. What year does that say?
1975.
Okay, good. Now, we're running through this real quick because she put me under a minute. Okay. Now, this policy is a foreign policy. At the top, it says Equitable Life Insurance Society. See that? It says 1762.
Yeah.
They were the original owners of Equitable Life Insurance Company until Mr. Smith and his company bought it in 1975. That's what she's got in her hand. In fact, this policy is June 19th, 1975. So I guess we were all stocking cattle. But anyway, to make a long story short, okay, this document here says, and it will be shot on the screen, from 1762 to what? 1975. Do you see it? Equitable Life was running until 1975.
Okay.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So then Mr. Smith took over.
All right.
All right.
So I say that, and I'm going to close.
Well, we're kind of out of time with
Okay.
your closing.
Yeah, he
No,
good.
no.
He good.
You want to-
Okay, give me 1 second.
He good.
Okay, so here it is. I'm going to leave it like this. If the railroad, Mr. Smith and his boys, Equitable Life, came in with a union, a powerful union, they didn't need no more of a union boss. Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you know what year Jimmy Hoffa went missing? Look it up. 1975. Look it up.
Okay.
Google it. Jimmy Hoffa went missing in 1975. They didn't need no Italian boss telling them what to do.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? Jimmy Hoffa went missing in 1978, 1975. They did not need no Italian boss telling them what to do. And to tell you the truth, I think he's buried behind the Mormon church, one way or the other.
Wow.
Yeah, he's
Okay.
buried. Either way, it's physically, mentally, or psychologically. He's buried behind the Mormon church, as is so alleged. And I'm going to close out with that. But
Okay.
Google it. Jimmy Hoffa went missing. They ain't found him today since 1975. And everything you guys have read, it says what? 1975.
Yeah.
They came in with their own union, their own bosses, and you ain't going to tell us what to do.
Okay.
Sounds very familiar to some Christopher Columbus-ish, but you know, hey, that's another story
All
for
right,
another
we
day.
in
All
this
right, I'm
bitch.
done.
All right,
We in this bitch. Not just be.
Hey, it's your girl, Lady Leo, and
Yeah.
Mr.
Robert Jones.
Mr. Robert Jones, and thank you again for hanging out with
Appreciate
us for a second.
Yeah. Remember, Get the
Time.
Mormon Corporate Empire. It's a book that gives you all the spill of their insurance companies and everything they own.
Okay.
Do your research.
Do your research,
We in this
Google,
bitch.
and we are in this bitch,
Smoking Face Smoke Shop. 4250 Truth, y'all.
Thank y'all, and
All
come
right.
back. We got 5 minutes.
Yeah. We're going to take an intermission real quick.
Thank you. We like
That's for
that.
them bullet points.
Hey.
I gave ammunition.
Yeah, we supposed to have that.
Yeah, mic's off.
Mike's off.
Oh, here
Turn
too.
off mic.
Oh, yeah. Nice. Don't forget your pen right there.
Yeah.
Yep, that boy went missing.